Hi, welcome. So in today's class, we'll discuss about the registers and the counters. We know that one flip-flop can store one bit of information. In order to store multiple bits of information, we require flip-flops. The group of flip-flops which are used to store the data or the binary data is known as the register. If the register is capable of shifting the bits either towards the right hand side or towards the left hand side, then it is called as the shift register. That means that the shift register is a register in which the binary data can be stored, and this data can be shifted to the left or right when the shift signal is applied. Bits which are shifted out at one end of the register may be lost, or if the shift register is of the cyclic type, bits shifted out one end are shifted back in the other end. Basically, there are four types of shift registers based on applying the inputs and accessing the outputs there. The first one you can see it is serial in serial out shift register, which is also called as CISO. Next is serial in parallel out shift register, which is called as CPO. Next, parallel in serial out shift register and parallel in parallel out shift register. So the shift register which allows the serial input and produces the serial output is known as SISO. Whereas the shift register which allows the serial input and produces the parallel output is known as serial in parallel out shift register. And the shift register which allows the parallel input and produces the serial output is known as the parallel in serial out shift register, and the shift register which allows the parallel input and produces the parallel output is known as the PIPO shift register. So here is the example of the right shift register, that is serial in serial out register. So as I said that in case of SISO, the data is sent serially and the data is taken out parallelly. So if the shift registers, suppose if I say 4-bit shift registers, then I'll be using 4 flip-flops there. So here I'm taking the D flip-flop, where we know that the output is equal to D, that is the data which you are giving at the input side. So here we have the serial in, so shift and the clock signal. So based on this shift and the clock signal, whatever the data will input at the serial input signal, that is D3, will be shifted to the D2. Next it will be shifted to D1. Next it will be shifted to D0, and it will be taken away from the serial out thing. When, if you can observe here, when shift is equal to 1, the clock is enabled and shifting occurs on the rising edge of the clock signal. When, suppose if shift is equal to 0, then no shifting takes place, that is no change in the flip-flop output takes place. The serial input is loaded into the first flip-flop Q3 by the rising edge of the clock. At the same time, the output of the first flip-flop is loaded into the second, and the output of second flip-flop is loaded into the third flip-flop, and output of third flip-flop is loaded into the last flip-flop. So you can observe here, fine, if I give the serial input as 1, then if I give shift is equal to 1, and if I give the clock signal, then that one is shifted to that one. I mean the Q3 will be equal to D3. We know that. So if I give D3 as 1, Q3 will be equal to 1, and the previous output of Q3 will be shifted to D2 register, D2 flip-flop. So you can see here, fine. So suppose if we write the graph of it, so shift register initially contains 0101. I am assuming that it contains 0101. Next, so this is the signal which we have. So at Q3 it is 0, Q2 it is 1, Q1 it is 0 and Q0 it is 1. So the serial input sequence will be next thing when the clock signal is applied. So S1 becomes 1. So we know that Q3 will be equal to D3. At the D3 we have serial input. So Q3 will follow the serial input D3. So Q3 is equal to 1. And at the previous Q3 was 0. So Q2 now becomes 0 because Q3 is connected to D2 and we know that Q2 is equal to D2. So that is why the data is shifted there. Next Q1. So as we know that Q2 was 1 previously, so that 1 will be shifted to the third flip-flop and hence D1 becomes 1, so that Q1 is equal to D1, so Q1 is equal to 1. And you can see here the previous output of Q1 was 0 and hence now it will be shifted to the last flip-flop and hence Q0 will be equal to 0. And for the next clock pulse, again for the at the rising edge of the clock pulse, again when the clock is applied, the S1, so the serial input, the next sequence which I am giving is 1, so it will be equal to 1. Q3 will be equal to 1. So Q2 previously it was 1, so hence Q2 will be equal to 1. Q2 previously was 0 and hence Q1 will be equal to 0 now. And this continues whenever I give the positive clock pulse, or when I give the clock pulse there at the positive edge of the clock pulse, you'll get the results of the shift register, which is serial in, serial out. You are taking a serial is nothing but one by one, right? So you are taking the sequence one by one after each flip flop. Fine. The sequence of shift registers states as first it will be 0101, the previous data, next 1010, next 1101, 0110 and 1011. Yes, so this is the example we can show, that is show how a number 0100 is entered serially in a 4-bit shift register using a D flip-flop. Also write the state table. If this is the question, obviously they are giving 4-bit shift register, will be using 4 flip-flops, that is the data flip-flop. So the previously the data will be equal to 0000. Now I need to shift 0100 here. So this was the previous data. Now when the first clock pulse is applied, so here we have serial input as 1. Next I have 0. You can observe here, whenever I am giving the serial input there, that serial input is given to the first flip-flop, whose output is Q. Then after that, that flip-flop is the data which is at the first flip-flop is shifted into the second flip-flop, and you can see that in the arrow marks represented there. Next example, I need to show about the shift registers. That is, suppose that it has a 4-bit number QRST that is equal to 1010. That means that previous data was this. Then store in it. So draw the what will happen whenever the result is this. Fine. Initially in the last slide we have seen that the initial data was 0000. Now the initial data is 1010. So that I need to check it. So I'll just write down the serial in data which I have. So when clock is equal to 0, this was the initial data which I have. When clock is equal to 1, that is I am giving the data here. So the data which I have previously will be shifted. So 1 will be shifted, 0 will be shifted. When the next clock pulse is applied, then I'll just give the serial input as 0 because I need to shift 1010 which has been given in the question. So just take serial input as 0 and check the shifting operation which is taking place. So the previous data which I have will be shifted here. So basically, so this is how the shift takes place there. Next, we have a cyclic shift register. Cyclic shift register is nothing but the output will be taken as the input there. If we see the same 4-bit shift registers I have taken, so it is a right shift there. So here, if we connect the serial output to the serial input as shown by the shaded line or a dash, as shown by the cut line or dashed line, the resulting cyclic shift register performs an end around shift. That is, like rotation, it will take place. The output is connected to the input. If the initial contents of the registers are 0, 111, then after one clock cycle, the contents will be, obviously it is 1011. That is the last output. Last flip-flop output is taken as the input there. So the last number was 1. So that will be taken at the first position. So it becomes 1011. So after a second pulse, the state is 1101. Obviously, here 1 again goes back to the input. Then it will be 1110, and the fourth pulse returns the register to the initial state, that is 0111. Next, we have 8-bit serial in serial out register. It also operates in the same manner. Fine. In case of 4-bit SISO, we will be having 4 registers, 4 flip-flops, and in this case, we will be having 8 flip-flops, and I am taking SR flip-flop. So, serial in means the data is shifted into the first flip-flop 1 bit at a time, and the flip-flop cannot be loaded in parallel. Serial out means that the data can only be read out of the last flip-flop. Fine, you can see whenever the clock pulses is applied, then it will be shifted there. Next type of register is a 4-bit parallel in parallel out shift register. Parallel in is nothing but I am giving the inputs at a time. I am giving the inputs for all the flip-flop at a time. If that is the case, then it is parallel inputs. And if I am taking, see, you can observe here the output has taken, that is Q3, Q2, Q1 and Q0 has taken after each flip-flop. Then that is called as the parallel output. That is, I am taking the output parallelly at a time. Next, we have the shift register implementation using multiplexer and the D flip-flop. That is called as the universal shift register. So, in this case, we have the inputs, that is serial in, shift enable, load, clock signal, parallel input, parallel output, serial output. Universal shift register is nothing but it contains all the types of shifting process there. So whenever the load is given, then it will load the primary data. Whenever shift enable signal is given, then the loaded data will be shifted to its right or left. So when shift is equal to 0, load is equal to 0, then no action takes place. When shift is equal to 0 and load is equal to 1, it will load the data. You can observe it in the truth table which I have given. Next, whenever the shift is 1, whatever the load thing may be, either it can be 0 or 1. So the shifting operation takes place, and basically it will be equal to a right shift. The same shifting operation has been designed by using multiplexers and the D flip-flops here. You can observe here. So in case of the first flip-flop and the first multiplexer, so the same thing happens here, D3, D2, D1 and D0. So these are the inputs which has been given to the multiplexer there, and the output of each multiplexer is taken as the input for your each flip-flop is taken as the input for your next multiplexer. So you can see the next state equation for the flip-flops there. So yes, you can see how the action is taking place whenever we are using a D flip-flop and a shift register there. Fine. Next, the timing diagram for a shift register. You can observe here, whenever the Q3, that is the out, you can see here, fine. So Q3, Q2, Q1 and Q0, the input of the multiplexer is connected to the output of the D flip-flop there. So when Q3, Q2, Q1 and Q0 is given, and that will be that is connected to the output of the D flip-flop, which is again connected as the input for the next multiplexer. This is how the shift operation is taking place there. Whenever L is equal to 1 and shift is equal to 0, the loading operation takes place, that too a parallel data loading. Next, when shift is equal to 1 and load is equal to 0, obviously the shifting operation takes place there. We'll assume that the register is initially cleared, that is Q3, Q2, Q1 and Q0 will be equal to 0, so that the serial input is Si. Fine. If I am giving the load is equal to 1, then the data will be loaded there. So after load is equal to 1, I'll give shift is equal to 1. Fine. I'm giving the data D3, D2, D1 and D0 as 1. Fine. Hence Q3 will be equal to 1. Q2 will be equal to previous data, that is 0. It is 1 and this is 1. Fine. So initially I'll take the data D3, D2, D1 and D0 as 1011. During the load thing, it will be loaded. And now what I'll do, I'll give the shift signal. So previously it was 0. So Q3 is 0. Q2 will be 1. Q1 will be 0. And Q0 will be equal to 1. And the same thing repeats until the complete data is shifted. So this here, the complete data is shifted there. So the first clock pulse loads the data into the shift register in parallel. Next, during the next 4 clock pulses, this data is available at the serial output. Assuming that the register is initially cleared, that the serial input is Si, which is equal to 0 throughout, and that the data inputs are 1011 during the load time. The resulting waveforms are, you can see here. Fine. The shifting occurs at the end of T1, T2, T3 and the serial output can be read during these clock times. During T4, the shift and the load is equal to 0, so no state change occurs there. Next, the circuit. We have types of shift registers again, or the applications of shift register. So, a circuit that cycles through a fixed sequence of states is called as the counters. And we have 2 types of counters. One is ring counter and the Johnson counter. A ring counter is also called as the cyclic shift register. So, with the non-inverted feedback, and the shift register with inverted feedback is called as Johnson counter or a twisted ring counter. So in the previous shift register tutorial, we saw that if we apply the serial data signal to the input of the serial in serial out shift register, the same sequence of the data will exit from the last flip-flop in the register chain. This serial movement of the data through the register occurs after a preset number of clock cycles, thereby allowing the SISO register to act as a sort of time delay circuit to the original input data signal. But if we were to connect the output of the shift register back to its input so that the output from the last flip-flop QD becomes the input of the first flip-flop QA, we would then have a closed loop that circuit that recirculates the same bit of data around the continuous loop for every state of its sequence. And this is the principal operation of a ring counter. So on each successive clock pulse, the counter circulates the same data bit between the four flip-flops over and over again around the ring every fourth clock cycle. But in order to cycle the data correctly around the counter, we must first load the counter with a suitable data pattern, as all the logic zeros or all the logic 1 outputted at the each clock cycle would make the ring counter invalid there. So this type of data movement is called as rotation. So you can just see here, we have 4D flip-flops in which the output of the last flip-flop is connected as the input of your first flip-flop. So in the truth table you can see that the first, initially at the stage we have Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3 as 1 triple 0. For the next clock pulse, that Q3 which is 0 is taken as the input for the first flip-flop. So Q3 will be equal to Q0. Q0 will be shifted to Q1. Q1 will be shifted to Q2 and Q2 will be shifted to Q3, and this happens throughout. The next type of counter is the Johnson ring counter, or it is also called as twisted ring counters. Here this is another shift register which I have with feedback exactly the same as the standard ring counter which we have discussed just now, but except that this time the inverted output. In the ring counter, the output of the last flip-flop is taken as the input of the first flip-flop, but here the inversion of the output of the last flip-flop is now connected back to the input of the first flip-flop. The main advantage of this type of ring counter is that it only needs half the number of flip-flops compared to the standard ring counter. Then its modulo number is halved. So a n stage Johnson counter will circulate a single data bit giving sequence of 2n different states and can therefore be considered as a mod 2n counter. So you can see here a 3-bit shift register with Q1 output from the last flip-flop is fed back into the D flip-flop, and I mean the D flip-flop to the which is at the first there. Yes, a shift register, a general shift register counter. The figure shows that the general form of a shift register counter where the bit being shifted into the leftmost stage can be a general function of the shift register content. If the gate logic only contains exclusive OR gates, then the counter is called as linear or a feedback shift register counter. For each integer n, there exists a linear n-bit shift register counter that generates a count cycle of length to n minus 1. All states are included except for all the 0 states. Linear shift register counter have many applications including as random numbers generators and as encoders decoders for linear error correcting codes. Thank you.